Alright. The Ranged Magazine presents... Ryunosuke Naruhodo Escapades, yeah, we'll call it that. Episode 1 in the defense antechamber. In the first of 8 escapades, Ryunosuke finds 2 troublemaking witnesses from his earlier trial having a battle of words in the defense antechamber, leading to a real tongue-lashing. Yes, I think we're fine with spoilers for the first game's story. Just look at my priceless treasure now! Myself, I have scrubbed and scrubbed. But the repellent odor of meat will never be repelled from its resplendent surface again. But you have it back in your possession at least. You should be grateful, old man. How dare you? Excuse me, but I'd just like to get at that Zabaton cushion there if I could. Ah. Rest assured, you miserable military malefactor, this is not over. Incarceration awaits those who would defraud a senior citizen for his priceless treasures. Watch your tongue, old man. Mark my words, I won't. Sorry, Sergeant, but, I just get that Zabaton cushion there as well? No. I won't go to jail. Never. Imagine if I did. The very next day, my boy would starve without the chain of command in place to provide for him. Using the charge to protect yourself? Myself, I call that absolute cowardice. Oh, really? And who just employed the old poor defenseless senior citizen tactic, Only way to fight an enemy who's using underhand tactics is with a tit-for-tat strategy. I forgot about the fucking pinwheel, that's adorable. Sorry to interrupt again, but I just need to get at that Western-style cushion there on the sofa? Enough of that insubordination. What do you want, man? Please, don't mind me. Aha! Do my eyes deceive me, or is this the wide-eyed criminal from the trial before? Wide-eyed, perhaps, but criminal? No. What is this unhealthy fascination you exhibit with the seating arrangements of others, Why were you peering under the cushions of this upholstered seat? Oh, well, the thing is... Any luck? Did you find it? Kazuma. No, sadly not. I don't think it's here, Kazuma. You really are a liability, Ryunosuke. Report! At once! Have you lost something? Is that it? Yes. We were just on our way to a party to celebrate my friend's victory here when... I realized that my university pin badge was missing. A university pin badge, you say? Yes, from my collar here, you see? Affirmative. Uniforms must be kept in prime condition at all times. Missing badge is unacceptable. I thought if I looked around, it would probably turn up somewhere. Like the old tale of the Koban coin and the stake. A parable of which I am acutely aware. I've exhausted my search now, really. The only logical conclusion is that someone must have stolen it. Uh-oh. Don't look at me! I don't just find any old metal objects irresistible, you know. He's looking at you. Imagine what would happen if little Trooper Ido here swallowed something like that. That's a good point, though. I'm afraid we'll have to give up, Ryunosuke. Still, if you tell the office your student number, they should be able to issue you a new one. What's the matter? Don't tell me. Yes, I don't remember my student number. Oh. I don't believe it. Wait, this is the second time you've lost your badge, isn't it? Third, actually. If you didn't think you could remember it, you should have made a note of it somewhere. I told you that until I was blue in the face the last time this happened. Yeah, I do seem to remember someone telling me something along those lines. It was you, wasn't it? You can't even remember who told you that you needed to remember it. All student numbers are 6 digits, Kazuma. Who could remember 6 whole digits? You made it exactly a long-established university, you know. All of our numbers are still rather low. In fact, they only use the last 3 digits. Well, that might help, I suppose. That might help. Ryunosuke, it's only 3 digits you need to remember. Just 3. Sorry, my brain is such a disappointment. Yes, well, anyway, young man. Myself, I was greatly impressed with you in the courtroom today. Oh, you mean me? A lawyer already before you've even graduated. And such a loyal friend to this one. This one? What's it supposed to mean? Oh no, I still have much to learn. In fact, I was brought home to me in no uncertain terms only last year. My Achilles heel was spectacularly exposed by my best friend here. Oh? Indeed? What? By me? This is the first I've heard about it. Yes, by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You can't have forgotten, surely. It was last summer, at the speech contest. The speech contest? Oh, that... Contestants had to take the stage and deliver a public address on any subject they chose. We were competing to give the most compelling and powerful speech. And yours was great. It made a huge impression on the audience. Obviously, since I was a budding student of law, I was determined to win. And sure enough, one by one, my opposition fell. When I reached the final at last, I came up against you. Yes, so you did. Not being rude, but when I first laid eyes on you, I thought to myself, I will crush you like a bug. This cheeky, wide-eyed no-hoper is out of his depth. It's gonna be a pushover. That's your version of not being rude, is it? Well, I paid for my complacency, because it brought on that humiliating defeat. Defeat? How are your ranks compromised? My speech was going very well. I had the audience in the palm of my hand. They hung on my every word. And then, they came to the very last line. Yes? What happened at that very last line? It was supposed to be a climactic end. Unfortunately, I completely fouled it up. Never. You mean you stumbled on your words? Spectacularly. Even now, I can't believe I ruined it. Well, what did you say, man? Ryunosuke, better say it. I still can't get my tongue around it. Sure, of course. I can still recall it perfectly. What you said at the end of your speech, or rather, what you intended to say at the end of your speech, was this. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for filial piety. Oh, that's gonna be a tongue twister. What went wrong? What indeed? Myself, I see no problem with the pronunciation of these paltry words. In that case, old man, I invite you to say it yourself. Very well then, I shall. So rise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for filial piety. It's impossible! You rise, ladies and gentlemen, part I delivered perfectly. The next part had me floundering for a whole 5 minutes. Oh, by the end of it, I was on my knees in front of the podium, a blabbering mess. That's when the audience started to heckle you. Rise, arise, they were shouting. Hell on earth. Then, of course, this man went and delivered his word-perfect speech with a perfect ending. How did it go again? Let me see. So, my dear fellows, the message is simple. Treat your father and mother with respect. Something like that. Treat her right. Treat your mother right. We can talk about stating the obvious. The fact is, I lost that speech. Tongue-tied is the only way to describe it. Well, it is quite tricky to say, I agree. A final fight for filial piety, especially. Flight for filial piety, eh? And ever since that day, I've had this question whirling around in my head. Why did our forefathers choose such an awkward phrase? Was it to mock their children? We had forefathers? I mean, it should never have been called filial piety in the first place. Ah! He's going to Great Britain soon. It might not come up much there. Well, anyway, having lost that accursed contest, I came after you to ask you a question. How is it that you never trip up on your words? I inquired, and then he immediately tripped up on his words. He just gave me a broad smile and said, "Speaking fast is my hobby." I mean, really? What kind of hobby is that? You think you could take your hand off your sword? Besides, it's just a way to pass the time. With that, you started talking at me 10 to the dozen, like you were possessed almost. Honestly, you can't imagine the shock I suffered that day. You really can't. You're right. I really can't. Speaking fast, it's just the sort of hobby I'd expect a civilian like you to waste his time on. Well, we have to practice, of course, but there are some simple things to start with. Like this famous one, for example. We have samurai swords swiped silently sideways. Ah, yes, even a decrepit tongue and an ailing frame such as mine can find its way around that one. I've no doubt. It's just a bit of fun, really. I can't imagine anybody would struggle to say it. Is that right, Cosmo? Do it. Swift, samurai, soft. Ah! Ah! A blabbering mess by word, too. It's not just the samurai. Every good soldier needs to be able to handle a sword. That's why I've been busy teaching Ido the finer points of swordplay. None of this wordplay nonsense, Private. Come to think of it, not long after that, we started to attend lectures together, didn't we? We got into that debate about family values at the Sukiyaki place on campus, do you remember? Yes, your argument was full of jokes and puns and wordplay as usual. I remember it well. Oh, was it? In any case, I swore that I would never let myself forget the shock you gave me back then. As a symbol of how seriously I took that oath, I decided to wear this. My red Hachimaki headband. But Hachimaki, botched it. Sorry, Katsuba. Yes? You've lost me there, I'm afraid. I don't see the link. What does your red headband have to do with your oath? Because always remind me of that smug look on your face as you uttered those tantalizing words. What words? You mean another tongue twister? I practiced and practiced until my tongue bled, but in the end I mastered it. Mastered what? Well, I think it's time you heard this, actually. Listen carefully now. Here goes. Red headband, lead headband, dead headband. There. Word perfect. See? Good job, Cosmo. You found an even simpler one. And hey, it's a start. I've actually been meaning to ask you about that. The story behind your headband, I mean. Well, now you know. So, then I'll never forget the shock and humiliation of that day. That's why I wear this red headband, every single day without fail. Well, I don't know exactly how much of a shock you think you had back then, but it can't be more than the shock you've just given me now. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but the tongue twister I said didn't go the way you seem to have remembered it. Huh? It's just famous as Swift Samurai Sword, so I can't believe you don't know it, really. Goes red bread pan, lead bread pan, dead bread pan. Wait, what? Red pan. Seems I've knocked some wind out of that headband of yours. It's not too late, Private. You could always start wearing a red bread pad on your head instead. Your youthful vigor is manifest, young man. Your cheeks are glowing redder than your hachimaki. Why do so many words have to be so similar? Mood. So, looking forward to Great Britain then? Where you'll have to deliver speeches in court in English. I suppose I can always shell seashells on the seashore. On the she-shore. Yeah. Man does his best. Episode 2, in a first-class cabin. The second escapade transpires that another crime was committed aboard the SS Buria. The stakes are high as Sholmes and Stroganov pursue the culprit, but there's more to the crime scene meets the eye. I wonder if this is just like the retelling of the scene where they find Ryunosuke in the camp, in the dresser. It's almost 2 weeks now since we left Japan. Can't believe how quickly time has gone. So our next port of call will be Shanghai. Who's there? Who could it be at this hour? A detective. A detective? Who? A great detective. I don't get it. What's a great detective? If you would just be so kind as to open the door. Oh, yeah, sorry, of course. Something wrong, detective? Are you investigating a case? Wherever a great detective goes, great cases occur. Indeed, I am the root of all evil. Sorry? I don't think I want you in my cabin. And our very noses on this steamship, a terrible theft has just occurred. What? You noticed, I presume, the brief power failure a short time ago. Oh, yeah. Power couldn't have been out for more than 10 minutes, though. Indeed. Yet there was ample time for this wicked crime to be perpetrated. I see. Well, clearly it's a case that needs investigating. Precisely. The culprit ran away in this direction, down the first-class cabin passageway here. Really? The thief came this way? I'm quite sure of it. It may have escaped the attention of the dim-witted crew, but not of the great detective. To that end, I would be obliged if you would allow me to investigate here, in this cabin. Huh. Well... I'm curious. There's some reason why it would inconvenience you to have your cabin searched. Convenience me? Well, I'd be lying if I said no. After all... There's a stowaway in that wardrobe right over there. Just me in here, you see? No one else. So I perhaps want to focus your attention on one of the other first-class cabins. As it happens, you are the only first-class passenger at present. The other cabins are vacant. Oh. Did that rather tragic rumbling of the stomach arise from within you, my good fellow? Of course. As I said, I'm the only person in here. It's no longer till dinner time now, so perhaps we could do this afterwards. I do apologize, sir, but it's of the first importance that the investigation is not delayed. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait, where'd he go? How'd he suddenly move all the way over there? Yes, without a doubt, the culprit would be hiding in this cabin. Would have to be inside this wardrobe. She'll need to examine this wardrobe thoroughly. Presume you have no objection. I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to decline. Really, you won't find any... Achoo! Achoo! Those two rather tragic sneezes arise from your good self? Of course they did. As I said, I'm the only person in here. You have a curious knack of talking while sneezing, then. Twice, no less. This is going to be a tough one to argue. I was watching you quite intently, Seth. I assure you I saw no signs of a sneeze. Ryunosuke have held his nose. As I was saying, you need to examine this wardrobe. You've had it now, then. The game's up. Nobody hiding in there, it seems. What? You seem surprised. No, not at all. Not at all. Yes, I am. He was in there for sure. Shut the doors on him myself. More visitors? Who's this now? Excusing me. Oh, Seaman Stroganoff. Sorry for disturbing, but crime has been committed on board ship. Yes, I heard. A terrible theft, apparently. How do you know this? Well, the detective here just informed me, you see. Detective? Yeah. I assumed you must have asked him to investigate. Detective, could you... Where did he go? Must ask you to cooperate with the investigation into this crime. Fully. Oh, he's clearing out the wardrobe already. Did he stash himself inside the wardrobe? Ah! Well done, you found me. But what are you doing hiding in my wardrobe? My good man, I was merely assessing the practicality of concealment in such a place. And I would say that as a push, a human could survive for up to 5 minutes in that cramped space. Ryunosuke's been there for a fortnight. Is he not human? Who are you? It's the moment of truth. The great detective is about to unveil the sordid details of this wretched crime. You mean to say? Yes, there can be no doubt that the culprit of this terrible theft did indeed conceal himself within this wardrobe. What? But that's impossible. He couldn't have done. It's my best friend was there the entire time. Or at least I thought he was. How could you be so sure of this? Elementary, my dear fellow. The criminal left behind the most revealing evidence. How else could you explain these 3 bones? Ah! What the? He's right. Look at those gnawed bones in there. And 3 of them. Ah! The criminal has escaped this time, but I will find him and crush him. They're looking for a rat. Or a cat? Could I ask you something, detective? Why, yes, of course. I'm always delighted to answer an inquiring mind. In this terrible theft, what exactly was stolen? Aha, what else? But some steaks on the rib bone. Meat on the bone! Huh? Did you say steaks on the rib bone? Meat bone on the... For this evening's dinner, 3 rib steaks were stolen from ship's kitchen only a short time ago. There was malfunction with the generator and ship was without lights for 10 minutes. Chef who saw criminals said that he ran the raid down first-class passageway. And now I am on his tail. I'm ready to say, dear fellow, that your man is no longer in this cabin. But how? Through the cabin door, no less. Having devoured his hole in the wardrobe, the culprit discarded the bones and concealed himself behind the cabin door as you came inside. Then, when attention was turned to the wardrobe, he seized his chance to escape through the open door. What? In any case, my good man, after the culprit, I shall follow presently. Something troubles you, sir. I think maybe. Criminal has stopped running away at all. What are you suggesting? Now I know where the dog is buried. Mr. Asogi. Me? Ah, when I think that you are the culprit, everything is falling in places. The criminal that disappeared in first-class passageway, the bones in the wardrobe. All clues are pointing to their fingers at you. Don't be ridiculous, I would never. Yes, of course. I established at once that you couldn't be the perpetrator of this crime. You did? Why? How are you so sure? My dear fellow, there are but two things in this world on which we can really rely on with total certainty. What two things? The first is the word of a great detective. And the second... The second is the tragic rumbling of an empty belly. Ah! Not again! He is in there. When I first entered this cabin, there did arise with this gentleman a belly rumbling so odiously tragic that it confirmed beyond all doubt that this man had not eaten a single rib steak in some time, let alone 3. Why do I have to suffer this humiliation? I've done nothing wrong! Curse this! I will catch this thief. He cannot have gone far. Indeed. Assuming he decided against the post-meal constitutional swim. Well, if you will excuse me now, my apologies for upsetting your evening. Detective, one moment, please. Yes? That was a most remarkable deduction. Perhaps you'd be kind enough to tell me your name. Ah, it quite slipped my mind. You've been talking with the one and only Sherlock Holmes. I see. Well, I'm Kazuma Sogi. I'm a student on my way to Great Britain. You don't recognize me? Pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Asogi. Oh, and before I forget. Yes? I feel I should warn you. Live cargo is strictly forbidden on this vessel. So you would do well to conceal the stowaway currently lying low under your bed as carefully as possible. Oh, under the bed? I bid you farewell, then, Mr. Asogi. He's uncovered our secret. Good lad, Holmes. He's a real one. He's a real one. He ain't snitching. Suppose I should have expected nothing less of a great detective. Now then. When did you move in under the bed? You thought we'd had it when he opened the wardrobe door. Oh well, it was thanks to that split-second chance you engineered. That I what? Distracted him for a moment, remember? He suggested that he investigated the other cabins instead. Oh, yeah. Turned to look toward the corridor, didn't he? Well, I couldn't see what he was doing, of course. I thought to myself, it's now or never. Next thing I knew, I was under the bed. You really know how to give me a scare, don't you? Anyway, what's all this about the rib steaks, eh? Ugh, sorry about that. I've just been so hungry. Oh, Ryunosuke, ever since we left Japan, stuck in that tiny wardrobe. Well, you should know, you've been splitting all your meals with me. You must be starving too, surely. Right on cue. Was that power cut before, wasn't there? About 10 minutes. So it was then. I caught a whiff of the most delicious smell. I thought to myself, it's now or never. Next thing I knew, I had the steak in my hands. This man just can't help getting himself into trouble. Well, alright, you were hungry. But 3 steaks? Thanks to you, 3 crewmen are gonna go without tonight, I imagine. No, 1. What? Only took 1 rib steak from the kitchen, that's all. But I don't understand. I am not that selfish. If I'd stolen 3 steaks, I'd at least have tossed 1 your way. I'm not your pet dog. In that case, who stole the other 2? Sherlock. Do you think there'd be a ghost on board? Meat-loving ghost? There could only have been a single bone in the wardrobe when Ryunosuke moved to hide under the bed. It was Sholmes. Which means that the other two bones can only have been put there by one very flesh and blood person. Fucking Sholmes. What's so funny? We're on a haunted ghost ship. And a very good reason for Sholmes to, not snitch. A great detective, or a great mischief maker. Either way, I think I'd like to spend a little more time getting to know that man. A great Hairlock Sholmes. Don't tell Susanna you met him. Okay. Moving right along. The British Supreme Court. This escapade takes place as Ryunosuke and Susanna visit Lord Strongheart to report on the outcome of Mr. Natsume's trial. But a flustered Inspector Gregson attempting to solve a very taxing problem before his time runs out. This might be 4 for the first game, 4 for the second game. We are again. Every time we visit here, the atmosphere in this place seems to get more and more overbearing. Just think we could be at home with Mr. Sholmes and Iris having a nice cozy breakfast. We have a duty to report the outcome of the case, especially since we're guests here in Britain. I'm afraid this visit couldn't have been avoided. I suppose not. Is there even anyone here? You'd hear a pin drop in this place. It's too solemn for its own good. It is very quiet, isn't it? The only sound is the ticking of the great clock as it keeps perfect time. Tick-tock, tick-tock, pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. What was that, I wonder? The usual comforting sound of the clock seems to have been joined by a less comforting shuffling sound today. Tick-tock, tick-tock. You're right. Nothing's disturbing the rhythmical ticking. It's not like an unfit middle-aged man running from pillar to post, clumsily. What do you call an unfit? Oh, Dr. Gregson, what are you doing here? What am I? Ugh. Isn't it flaming obvious? 58 seconds remaining, Inspector. We'll have to talk later, sunshine. Good morning, Lord Strongheart. Oh, he's really looking fiercely at his pocket watch. And good morning to you. Business so early in the day. Oh, yes. Well, I mean, about the other day. We are to deliver our report, Lord Strongheart, as our dealings with Mr. Natsume are now over. Ah, yes, the little Japanese man. Already cast my eye over Van Zeek's report. Uh-oh. I must say, the outcome surprised me. I thank you for a job well done. You are too kind, my lord. It's not here, it's not there, and it's not over there either. I hope you don't mind me asking, but what exactly is the inspector doing? He's been harrying around between the bookshelves, looking beside himself with worry. He's looking for particular work, The Lion's Pride. And there's an all-too-familiar title. I'd heard it was a popular tale, so I obtained a copy from the rental library. However, it wasn't able to maintain my interest, so I soon cast it aside. I happened to notice a vacant spot on one of my shelves at the time, so I duly stowed the book there. Unfortunately, I no longer remember where that was. No, not there. Not here either. Come on. Where are you lines hiding? Book is due back today, so I've asked Gregson to locate it for me with his investigative prowess. Inside 5 minutes. Must say I've never seen anyone working so hard to find something. It's like a man possessed. Ah, yes. That's because his month's salary is staked upon the outcome. Oh, no. At whose instigation? Let me guess. This stony-faced lord. And the 5-minute time limit? What's the significance of that? There is none. It's my vulgar, mischievous spirit showing itself, I'm afraid. Oh. By your own admission. Ah! I can't. My feet. Killing me. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, Inspector. Ah! Which means that next month you will work unpaid and have no days off. No days off. There really are just so many books here. It's overwhelming. For some, perhaps. I purchased every book, new or old, on the subject of law from all over the globe. Wouldn't have believed it until a few short decades ago. A place like this couldn't have existed. What do you mean, Inspector? When I was a lad, no one ever dreamed of buying books. Oh, I see. Western books are such luxury items, I suppose, with their leather covers and fancy bindings. No, that's not it. Oh? It was a tax on paper, see? On paper? Yeah, I mean, more about 30 years back now, but it used to be the case. There was tax levied on any kind of paper. So obviously that meant most folk couldn't afford to buy any books at all. Ah, so is that why places like the rental library you mentioned before came into existence, Lord Strongheart? Indeed. Vestiges of the paper tax system, you could say. The general public considers books as items for hire. London is home to a vast lending library of some 3.5 million books. You couldn't hope to read all of that, even if you were reincarnated 10,000 times. You and I would choose to rent a book, rather than purchase it if I knew I would read it infrequently. The subject of tax has actually surprised us already in the last few days. It came up in Mr. Natsume's trial. It seems that the window in his room was filled in due to some kind of window tax. That would be true. Fortunately, the window tax was abolished here some 40 years ago. Sadly, in the East End in particular, many windowless houses remain. Britain's always had a bit of a thing for tax and stuff. Whenever they can tax, they tax. Sugar, salt, tea, coffee, you name it. Candles, beards. Wait, sorry, what was that last one? Did you say beards? Yup, beard tax. Never heard of it. Never? Why should people have to pay money just because they let their facial hair grow? You may well ask. Or is it because it makes them look self-important? Naruhodo's will have a strict family policy of no facial hair, I think. You can relax. The beard tax was confined to the annals of history long ago. Even so, it's clearly something that the British really love. Paying taxes, I mean. Paying them? You got that back to front, sunshine. But you can't deny you've had a lot of funny taxes over the years. Never find anything like that in Japan. Would you, Mrs. Sato? In actual fact, I'm afraid to say that you would, Mr. Naruhodo. What? No, you don't mean. Surely there's never been a window tax in Japan? No. There have been similarly obscure taxes. For example, in the Edo period, there's a frontage tax. What was that? Tax not on windows, but on the entrance to properties. The larger a property's entrance was, the greater the tax that was levied on it. Even Today, some mansions survive with extremely narrow entrances due to that old form of taxation. I had no idea. Huh. You Japanese are as twisted as us Brits. But we'd have had a beard tax. I mean, that's really going a step too far. Well, no, that's not true. I'm not aware of any taxes for beards, at least. What do you mean, at least? Well, rather than tax them, the shogunate did once prohibit them outright. The ruling class prohibited beards. It was called the Great Beard Prohibition. It was an Edo period edict. Why did the powers that be want to ban beards? What makes people look self-important? Just an idea. It would seem that rulers in the East and the West have had very similar ideas over the years. Different as our cultures may be, we still come to the same conclusions just for being human. There have been other unusual taxes in our history, even in our current Meiji period. There have? Example was before either of us were born. There was a rabbit tax. Or what? There was some tax on those adorable fluffy creatures? Like the ones who make mochi sweets on the moon? Yes. It was an extremely large tax, too. Government demanded extraordinary sums of money. It just gets stranger and stranger. What was the reason for that bizarre tax, then? Well, after Japan opened its doors to the world, it was an unprecedented rabbit boom in the Meiji era. Rabbit boom? Boom? Yes. Keeping rabbits became hugely popular, and new species were traded at exorbitant prices. People were even swindled out of all their money for exotically colored rabbits. Like colored chicks, I suppose. I want to imagine, though. Rabbits are so timid and quiet. Would have thought one could bankrupt you. So to respond to this worrying social vogue, government imposed a rabbit tax. I suppose they could just ignore the problem. And it worked because the rabbit boom came to an abrupt end. 6 years later, the tax was abolished. Ah. I hate to say it about my own country, but Japan is strange. What's more, after the rabbit tax was abolished then, of course, society rebacked it by launching straight into a second rabbit boom. Shocker. Oh dear. Government didn't think that one was enough, did they? Your ideas about the world are very much altered by the position you hold in society. You're responsible for the running of the country. You will feel the need to raise revenue keenly. Without a stable taxation system, the whole country would go down in flames. Well, yes, I guess so. Some of these taxes. Precisely why ministers of state use their wiles to invent new, potential ways of discovering more oceans. Oh. What the fuck did I just say? Oh god, I'm losing it. What the fuck did I just say? How did I get that out of this sentence? I'm losing my goddamn mind. That's precisely why ministers of state use their wiles to invent new and novel ways of taxing the ocean. What the fuck am I saying? Taxing the public. Novel ways? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, you're one of my country's statesmen. Me? A British statesman? Yes. What novel tax would you impose? Pray, give us something truly original. Inside 5 seconds. What? Oh, it's something I never use it, Mr. Naruhodo, and really squeeze every penny out of the population. It's quite the intense stare. I'm very glad Susato-san isn't in charge. Browse. Your time is up. So, what's your answer? Well... Air, maybe? Yes, how about air? An air tax, you say? Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. A truly novel and fiendish idea. Well, everyone has to breathe. So the population is inhaling air, my government is inhaling money. Blimey, you're timing it hard, eh? Somewhat radical solution to our country's revenue problems, but sadly not an original one. No! You mean to say? Surely not. You mean a tax on air has been imposed in the past? It was last century. The finance minister of our neighbor France proposed it. What? If I ever go to a visit, I'm holding my breath. Unsurprisingly, it was strongly opposed by the public and soon scrapped. The minister didn't last long either. He was beheaded. Oh dear, although clearly that would have been an untenable situation. The public at large are forced to be reckoned with. Don't I know it? But you, Inspector, what new tax would you impose? Let me see. My first thought is a tax on objections. Sorry? I haven't fought too many of them recently in court. This particular lawyer I have in mind, as it happens. I think an objection tax would be very handy. Good to see you don't allow your personal feuds to influence your work in public office. I reckon 5 pence for the objection raised would be about right. Most amusing proposal, Gregson. Most unassuming proposal, unamusing proposal, my lord. God. Oh. Well then, I think it's your turn now. Sorry, my turn for what? Why, what else? Locate my missing copy of The Lion's Pride. Oh. It's on one of the shelves in this room. That I'm certain. Now, I shall give you 10 minutes. Let's take your student stipend on it, eh? Gotta find the book and you forfeit next month's payment. Objection! 5 pence. Your time starts now. Oh, and one more thing. You just said the word objection. Ugh. Gotta leave your 5 pence over there before you begin combing the shelves. This tax is going to be the death of me. Episode 4, in Sholmes' Suite. The fourth escapade unfolds one morning on Baker Street when Iris has prepared breakfast for everyone as usual, but Ryunosuke wakes to find an envelope under his door containing a death threat. I wonder what could have put it there, and why? Susie. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, morning, Susie. I've got breakfast on the table for us all. Mr. Sholmes, morning. Come now. Why the long face? Oh, sorry. The thing is... It's had a rather strange envelope poked under my door this morning. Some rather strange things inside. What strange things? What was it, Runo? Do I catch the scent of mystery in the air? Nothing so exciting, I'm afraid, Iris. Just 5 orange pips. Can't imagine what it could possibly... What? Orange pips, Mr. Naruhodo? And 5 of them? What's the matter with you? That's a bit of an overreaction, isn't it? An overreaction? Mr. Naruhodo, you don't understand. It's a warning. Notice of imminent danger to your life. What? To my life? What's the meaning of all this, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, why do you make such an inquiry of me? Because the name of the sender was written on the envelope, and it was yours. Oh. You're right, Runo. It says, sent by Sholmes, envoy of hell. So my little ploy has been exposed. Well, so be it. Cast your mind back, if you will, Mr. Naruhodo, to the time of our dining last night. Oh, yeah. Mr. Zettel cooked Japanese food for us. Indeed. In particular, you may recall the final noi and maki sushi roll that I was about to savor. Oh no. Did we eat Sholmes' sushi roll? That is, before you swooped in with your clacking chopsticks and filched it from under my nose. Oh! I assumed because you'd left it that you didn't want it. I just simply am terrible at using chopsticks. I left it, my dear fellow, because I had planned to enjoy it as my very last mouthful. Surely must have noted my intent by the subtle dilation of my right pupil. Perhaps a clearer sign would have been helpful next time? Just an idea. In summary, the post you saved earlier was a notice of impending revenge. You should be quaking in your boots. Really? So I went straight out into the garden and planted them. I'm hopeful we may grow some exotic fruit. There's no point sending a notice of impending revenge if the person you send it to doesn't know what it is. Well, I knew, of course, because I've read this book. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. On sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews. Oh, yes, of course. It's finally been published, hasn't it? I hear it's selling very well. Let me just do a bit of breathing. Yep, the 5 orange pips. Yep. Elias received a letter postmarked Pondicherry bearing the inscription KKK, bearing only 5 orange pips. The pips were sent to 3 men, 2 were later cleared, 1 was visited. Yeah, the 5 orange pips were a symbol of revenge. Yep. In said story. In the very end, Sholmes actually sends 5 orange pips himself in an attempt to take revenge for the final murder here. It is 12 short stories in 1 volume. I've earned a lifetime spending money already. It has further bolstered my name. In fact, only the other day, a Bohemian king sought to engage my services. Oh no! Really? That's extraordinary. Of course, the gentleman persisted with some pretense about being a fishmonger for the duration. Only a fool would presume to be able to deceive my eyes with such a charade. So how'd you know that he was a king, then? Why, there's no mystery, my dear fellow. A distinct smell of fish accompanied the man's lovely apparel. Though he tried to hide it, the left side of his mustache quivered in a quite manifest manner. Oh, Mr. Sholmes! That's simply brilliant! Having neatly resolved the case for the man, I was sent a quantity of fresh cards as a mark of his appreciation. I think perhaps you shouldn't discount the possibility that he actually was a fishmonger. Yeah, like the real Bohemian king paid handsomely. Is that? Can anyone else smell burning? Oh yeah, you're right. And look, smoke. I think maybe... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Really? A fire? We should all leave at once. Everyone out of the building. I will punch the fire. No, wait! I have to get back to my room first. Are you deranged? If you're not asphyxiated by the smoke, the flames will burn you all to death. My Dharma doll! I can't let my Dharma burn. It means too much. Drat. Sorry, but I'm going to make a dash for it upstairs. Oh, Runo, you're so funny. There's no time for jokes, Iris. Go, quickly, get out of here. I just burnt breakfast, but there is no fire. Is there, Hurley? Huh? What a delight to see that ploy enacted in the flesh. I wouldn't have dared to dream I should be so lucky. Miss Susanna. Indeed was a ploy. A devilment engineered by my puckish spirit. It's all a trick? But why? It is a simple experiment of the mind, Mr. Naruhodo. When his life is threatened, a fellow is compelled to instinctively protect that property to which he attaches magic importance. After your own life, Runo, the most important thing to you seems to be your Dharma doll. Let's not dwell on that, shall we, Iris? So, you knew all along, Mrs. Zado, that it was a trick? Yes, of course. The very ploy described in this book? The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Now available in major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews. Not again! I've used that device quite satisfactorily in the past to solve a case. Oh yes, it was a great success, wasn't it? Then it became something of a habit, didn't it? You started yelling fire at every crime scene. In the end, people started to pay no attention to you at all. Huh. Yes, that's true. There was a time when I was known as the Sholmes who cried wolf. I think there's a lesson to be learned in there somewhere. Sadly, my little ploy failed to yield results this time. I was just utterly unmoved. What do you mean? Well, I was anticipating that Iris would immediately expose her secret hiding place. The location of the nest egg she must have cached somewhere in this room. Nest egg? You think Iris has some secret savings? Why, naturally. This book is selling like hotcakes, after all. It's a simple deduction, indeed, to conclude that the profits must be concealed here within these walls. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you in need of money? Ah, I bet I know what it is. It's that new microscope that's gone on sale, hasn't it, Hurley? What else? I have such a strong desire to own one, yet my purse is £1 too light. As no offer for loan has been forthcoming, I have been forced to resort to an alternative stratagem. Sorry, Hurley, but I'm not falling for that. Not coming from the Sholmes who cried wolf. Ah, how vexing. You really shouldn't be trying to steal a 10-year-old's savings, you know. My book is full of little tricks like that, you see. The armory of the great detective. Except that in this case, both the orange pips and the fake fire fell a little flat, didn't they? Oh, I have plenty more tricks up my sleeve. Take, for example, the case of the Boscombe Valley mystery. Already filled with dread just from the title. It's a tale of extraordinary skill on the part of the great detective. The skill of tracking. Tracking? When I arrived at the scene of the crime in the eponymous valley, there were footprints everywhere. My eye was immediately drawn to one set in particular. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, your detective instincts are truly remarkable. As you know, my dear madam, no detail, no matter how small, can be something obvious like their horse hooves or something. Escaped the scrutiny of these eyes. So I tracked my quarry, following the trail of his footprints all the way to the man's place of residence. Charles and James' boots. Another man besides Charles. Right. Boscombe Valley mystery. In particular, there were two sets. The details to this one is that there were two specific sets of boots that they examined, and then they followed the matching footsteps, and Sholmes found a third set to follow in the process. Hence the trail that he worked through here. That you directed to the culprit's house? What a triumph! Misunderstand. It led me directly to my own house, my dear friend. Huh? The footprints were, in the final analysis, those made by my own shoes. Hurley had left him for Boscombe Valley as soon as he received the telegram about the case, you see. Then he followed his own trail straight back here to Baker Street. No, Iris, please. You make it sound almost humdrum, but I assure you it is no easy feat. Tracking of this nature is a skill possessed only by the great Sherlock Holmes. You're right, it really is extraordinary. Quite so. Extraordinary is the word. Let it be the last on the subject. Anyway, Needless to say, I subsequently went on to solve the case with the various other deductions. Yes, it's the various other deductions that I'm interested in. Well, you shall have to read the book then. I'm sure I was suspended with her usual flourish. Oh, absolutely. An ingenious spin on the great detective's exploits. It must have been very ingenious to make this man sound even remotely credible as a detective. Wait, is that? Does this feel like something's burning again? Not enough devilment for one day, Mr. Sholmes. Put your plucky spirit to bed. I assure you, this has nothing to do with me or my spirit. What? Oh no, the smoke is getting thicker. You mean it's not a trick this time? There really is a... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Ah! It's just breakfast. Susanna, where are you going? Hey, aside, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, easy, Mr. Sholmes. What are you... Mr. Sholmes? Why did you just chuck that busted Napoleon on the floor? Oh, look at that. Amongst all the broken porcelain. Coins! Sovereigns, in fact. Worth a whole pound each. Come, everyone. We must leave at once. Evacuate the building. Sholmes' secret savings? You fell for it, Hurley. Hook, line, and sinker. Where did Susanna go? Ah. Wait, you mean... Iris! I certainly wouldn't have guessed that's where you'd hidden it. Do you mean to say that this smoke was... My own puckish spirit needs to come out and play sometimes too, you know. What? Ah, of course. I know what it is, Iris. It's an indoor herb garden set that went on sale last week, isn't it? That's what you were after. I want one so desperately, but I'm £4 short. Even though you told me you didn't have any money to spare before. I knew you had a secret nest egg somewhere in this room. In the Napoleon, of course it is. Ah, outwit me again. You really shouldn't let yourself be outwitted by a 10-year-old child, do you know? So thank you for the loan, Hurley. Oh, but wait. What's the matter? Where's Susie? She disappeared. Oh yeah, that's right. She went up the stairs before, didn't she? Oh, what are you all still doing here? We have to evacuate. It won't be long before the fire is... Alright, what's yours? Ah. Sorry, Susie. Children will get up to mischief once in a while, you know. But it's all perfectly harmless. Harmless, maybe, but oh so devious. Oh, I don't get to know. Oh. Oh well, at least nobody was hurt. Okay, we might still know. Apart from Napoleon and my secret hoard. Now tell us, Mr. Zato, what is it that you went so fleet-footedly to fetch? Sorry? Oh no, nothing. This is just, no, this is nothing. Her copy of the book. Susie, that's your notebook detailing all of Runo's trials, isn't it? It's bulging at the seat. Oh! What? Ah, a testament to the various people you've helped over the past months. Mr. Zato, Well, I am your judicial assistant, after all. I would do anything to ensure the safety of these records. Even risk my life if necessary. Oh, Susie! I mean, it's very important to me. Like a diary of everything we've achieved together. Oh. Getting all teary-eyed now. Yes, in stark contrast to a certain someone who'd have fetched his Dharma doll, I must say. Ah. Oh, that did rather sweet. Oh. Alright. Episode 5 at Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. An escapade in Naruhodo's legal consultancy where Susanoo appears to be rather irritated, as it seems Ryunosuke has been buying a little too much bric-a-brac lately, and now the whole place is brimming with things they don't need. His latest purchase has really rocked the boat with Iris and Susanoo. Oh, still first game story. Alright. A giant mop. Hello. I'm, I'm back. Oh, hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Did you have a good outing? Hi, Bruno. What's the matter? Your eyes are as big as dinner plates. Iris, I wasn't expecting to see you here. I've just made some tea, Mr. Naruhodo. Would you like a cup? A cup or two? Yes, definite tea, haha. Alright, Runo, what's going on? You're acting extremely strangely. What? Me? No, not at all. As normal as normal can be. Normality itself, see? Not again, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah! Sorry? Not what again? What do you mean, Susie? Whenever he goes out on his own lately, he always seems to come back with a peculiar new purchase. Peculiar? Peculiar? What's peculiar about the things I've bought? You seem to think that anything British is a curio you must simply have. Keep buying items of bric-a-brac even though you don't know what they are. Always getting scammed by salesmen. Well, there are rather a lot of bric-a-brac shops and pawnbrokeries than like around here. It's when I've been to Lord Stronghurst to give my weekly report. I'm always so nervous beforehand. On the way home, I just find myself in those shops and... Yes, alright, I can't deny it. I bought something. What'd you get? You're right, you can't deny it, because your eyes are wider than ever. You really ought to put up a warning sign about them. Bigger than some potholes around here. Hard to resist things in the bric-a-brac shop. Also cheap. Mr. Schultz has given me lots of useful advice about how to pick out the real bargains. You must remember, Bruno, that Hurley likes to have fun with you. Take his advice with a big pinch of salt. Well, that's true. The thing he told me was a pot stand wasn't a pot stand at all. I never guessed it was a collapsible top hat. No, and I've never have guessed that you could fill up his once empty room so quickly. Honestly, it's overflowing with things we don't need now. Naruhodo's legal consultancy and pawnbrokery. Look at those scales. Not once have you weighed something on them. I know, but ever since I first stood at the defense's bench in court, I don't know why, but I just really wanted my own little set of scales. Let's see then, Mr. Naruhodo. What have you come home with today? Do you want to fling little pebbles at them to imitate the jury system, judiciary, judgment rulings, Oh, well, it's, you could make a fun little toy set out of that. One of these! What is it? It looks all dry and shriveled up in a ball. Really, Mr. Naruhodo, what is it? It's a sea anemone. An anemone? Yes, I mean, I know it doesn't look like it at the moment. It's all shriveled up, like you said. Oh no. Aren't sea anemones living creatures? The ones that dance about at the seabed? Yes, exactly! What's it dance about on the seabed? Well, they can sell sea anemones in bric-a-brac shops here in Britain. I don't know whether they normally do or not, but I know that I bought one today. But why, Bruno? Well, yes, for the aquarium, of course. Query. Query? I don't know that word. Well, according to the shopkeeper, keeping sea creatures in tanks was hugely popular here in London before. Oh, yeah, some people have some beautiful fish in seawater tanks, it's true. Having an aquarium become popular because the old glass tank was abolished. There it is again, rearing its ugly head, subject of taxation. It was a real craze for a while. Everyone in London had one. For a while? Yes, it didn't last long. People's enthusiasm soon waned. Just far too much work to be changing the seawater regularly in a city like London. Never a truer word said, I'm sure. I think people might have realized that from the start, really, would you? Wouldn't you? Anyway, that was long before I was born. Now everyone jokes that there's an unloved aquarium covered in dust in every attic. In the capital. And it's true, there's one in this attic too. I told the man in the bric-a-brac shop about it. He had these words of wisdom. That's why it's the age of the sea anemone. That made a lot of sense to me. Oh no. It made sense to you? Did it? Did it? But Runo, this anemone is completely dried up. Just need to soak it in water overnight. It'd be as good as new. That's what the man said. I'm not sure what it looks. I'm not sure if it works the same way as dried wakame seaweed, Mr. Naruhodo. If I've saved some money, I'm gonna buy some prawns to keep this little fella company. Oh my god. Oh, how exciting! Your office will be teeming with life. With it, really? It is a funny country, though. I mean, a sea anemone craze. Well, they say people in glass houses about comments like that here, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't forget that there was a very curious rabbit craze in our own country not so very long ago. A mortifying chapter that people will try to erase from the history books 100 years from now, I'm sure. You know, there was another craze as well. Well, the aquarium one. Have you heard of Wardian cases? Wardy what? No, I've definitely never heard of them. They were little glazed cases for growing plants indoors, I believe. Oh, I see. For plant lovers to raise their favorite tropical plants. That's right. Like different types of ferns. Ferns? Do you mean those rather dull plants with lots of fronds for leaves? They're not dull at all. Ferns are lovely plants. If people wanted to recreate the exotic foliage of the tropics in their own homes. So they grew ferns. I mean, ferns, sea anemones, hunters certainly have a knack for the obscure. Well, thinking about it, my grandfather loved the moss on his bonsai. He looked after it better than the trees. It seems like the more obscure something is, the more it interests people. Maybe. Anyway, the Wardian case craze didn't last very long. And most of those little glass cases are just gathering dust, I think. Haven't I seen one in your room, Iris? Ooh, very observant of you, Susie. Yes, that's right. Mine's certainly not gathering dust. I grow tropical herbs in it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? I really must ask you to stop all this frivolous buying of strange things. Yes, all right, sorry. It's that, well, think about Mr. Sholmes's room. There's all sorts of peculiar trinkets lying around. Oh, well, yes, that's true. They seem to be growing in number. Recently I've noted a blowpipe, a few beryl crystals set in a twisted piece of gold, a gold-rimmed Princeton. I spotted a small gramophone record in there the other day, so I slipped it onto the gramophone. Just a whispering voice saying, "Nobody, nobody, nobody, no." What? We're investigating. my first thought is just fucking manifesting wealth ASMR video. Put it on at night and manifest a flattened Morberry. That's gotta be a reference. Oh, that's actually a really clever reference. Here's a fun quote with the adventure of the yellow face. Watson, if it should ever strike you that I am getting a little overconfident in my powers, giving less pains to a case than it deserves, kindly whisper Norbury in my ear, and I shall be infinitely obliged to you. Well... what could it possibly be about? Those are all mementos of cases that Hurley solved over the years. Exactly. I want to create in here. Just that sort of atmosphere. Oh. Imagine that's just him. Imagine if it was Mikitoba, just leaving that behind for him. Which is ironic. It's ironic considering... Ironic to consider that, in this instance, the eponymous Watson is in fact Eugen Mikitoba. Because Adventure the Yellow Face deals with... It's actually a rather sympathetic take on interracial marriage at a time when, obviously, things were quite dire. Published in 1893, so yeah. The whole yellow face thing was a mask meant to disguise the child of an interracial marriage. It's, yeah. The whole, Norbury as a key word is rather telling for Holmes's character. I feel like that would definitely be something that Mikitoba would do for him. Yes, that! I do understand, Mr. Sato, but this is all... But Mr. Naruhodo, all the shit you bring home is tad. None of the things you've brought from the room have any connection with any of our cases. Oh, don't they? Well, for example, take that splendid but rather weather-beaten top hat. Wasn't used as evidence in any of the cases we've worked on, was it? Oh, so you have two top hats if you count the collapsible one as well. No, the collapsible one is a pot stand, as far as I'm concerned anyways. But the other day when you were in court, they were everywhere, weren't they? Top hats, I mean. Oh, they're gonna have some mental connection with him. Well, here in Britain, of course, they're the mark of a true gentleman, so that's hardly surprising. Man isn't wearing a top hat when he ventures out of the doors, he'd be looked down upon. Gosh, it has very strict rules, doesn't it? The English gentleman's code. I've been wondering how I'd look in a top hat recently. After all, my university uniform is black as well, so I think it would be very in keeping. Oh, what a good idea! Go on then, Runo. Try it on. Oh, you better show it to us. Cowards. Cowards. Show us. Lesson here, I suppose, is that the juxtaposition of student and gentleman is just so strange and wrong. Well, I'd rather it didn't suit me anyways. I mean, these hats are ridiculous. You're willing to bet every foreigner who sees one of these for the first time thinks exactly that same thing. Why is that man wearing a chimney on his head? People in glass houses, remember, Bruno? What do you mean? Well, what about Japanese top knots? Those haircuts are the height of ridiculousness. True. At least you can take a hat off. Once you have a chon mage, it's chon your head for good. Ba-dum-tsh. I'd be willing to bet every foreigner who sees a chon mage for the first time thinks exactly the same thing. Why is that man wearing a cannon on his head? I suppose that's what it means to have different cultures, isn't it? To have crass misunderstandings at each other. Hopefully learn to understand each other. On the subject of hats. What Mr. Sholmes always wears is really very strange, don't you think? I beg your pardon, Mr. Naruhodo? What a thing to say! How dare you? That hat is the very essence of Mr. Sholmes. Yes, that is Deerstalker. The great detective would be unrecognizable. It's called a Deerstalker? That's a surprisingly swanky name. It's that of a hunter, just like the flat cap. Made up my mind long ago to visit Regent Street and buy one for myself. Oh, we need Susie the Deerstalker. I'm not sure if it's gonna fit over your hair. But I think it's perfect for a great detective who stalks his criminal quarry. What do you think is strange about it anyways? Well, you've seen it. There's two brims, one at the front and one at the back. Why do you need two brims on a hat? Surely one at the front is enough, no? This roast session shit. One moment, please. If you ask me, it's just Mr. Sholmes' madcap personality coming through. I bet it's so that he doesn't have to think about which way around to put it on or something like that. Mr. Sholmes does not have a madcap personality. He always has a clear head. Deerstalkers are made for hunters who had to hide in thickets when they were stalking their prey. The rear of the back was designed to stop the stalks of plants scratching the backs of their necks. Oh, so that's the reason. Thank you, Iris, for educating us. Sholmes doesn't spend a lot of time in thickets, though, does he? Well, no, that's true. I'm telling you, it's just his impetuous personality. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Firmly. Ah, here you all are. Well, good afternoon, Mr. Sholmes. Not long since made some tea, Mr. Sholmes. Would you like a cup? I see I've come at a good time, Mr. Sato. Thank you. Now, I have something I should like you all to see. I designed myself a brand new great detective's hat. Well, what the? There's a brim. At the front and at the back and at both sides? 4 brims in total. Your observation is quite correct, my dear madam. I'm a busy man, you see. With this hat, whichever way I put it on, I shall always have it pointing the correct way. Oh. With my previous hat, I could, in an impetuous moment, wear it erroneously with the brims on either side. That's impressively clumsy, I would say. And I must regretfully say, I think your madcap theory was correct after all. But really, Mr. Sholmes, with brims on all 4 sides like that, wouldn't it just be better to wear a top hat instead? Oh, yes! Then however you put it on, you'd have a brim all around. What? So true. So true. How could I have been so blinkered to that fact until now? Fortunately, I happen to have 2 top hats here. Just lift the pot off of it, you're welcome to try that one there. That's the pot holder on hand. Indeed I shall, my good fellow. Much obliged. We are cosplaying English gentlemen, you and I. Oh dear, Hurley. It looks terrible. More terrible than I could have possibly imagined. Oh, that's not good. Maybe it's just your long face. Maybe the tall hat, it's just... it doesn't work. I think it's very nice, Mr. Sholmes. Even if it will have the whole world in fits of laughter. Ugh. Should never have meddled with it. It'll be a deerstalker forevermore. Give me my Regulation University hat forevermore. I still hope that you'll graduate one day, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't give up. The true reason he's going back to Japan, to actually get his bloody degree. Oh, my lad. In this escapade in Mr. Natsume's room, it is revealed that the Japanese scholar was once a teacher of English. He has much to say on the cultural differences between Japan and Britain, as well as on sentimentality, Shakespeare, and cycling. It's Natsume, so, Oh, is this still the first game? Were these all part of the first game? So, Mr. Natsume, are you really returning home? To Japan? Yes, indeed I am. Everything's arranged already. It'll be sad to see you go. And after Runo worked so hard to prove your innocence as well. What a shame. It feels like it was all a wasted effort. Don't say that. I know what you're suggesting. Calm down, Mr. Natsume. It's all fine, really. You are in good company here, sir. If you fear the Reaper, you needn't hide that fact. I'm a proud citizen of the Empire of Japan. I'm not a scaredy cat. Talking of cats, Mr. Sholmes just casually threw one along the pigeons there. A man like me belongs to Japan, not here. That's what I've come to realize. I wonder. A moustache such as yours is eminently suited to London, I would say. Is Mr. Sholmes throwing another cat in? Won't I arrive in this city, I noticed. Everyone in London laughs at me behind my back, like hyenas. Hysterical hyenas, ha-ha, horribly. I'm sure that's not true, Mr. Natsume. Oh, but it is. Whenever I turn around and peer down the fog-filled streets, all I see is foreigners everywhere. Well, there's you, Runo, and Susie in here, so that's 3 foreigners out of 5 people. I take your point. Only the other day I was taking a stroll in the fog as usual when a young man approached me from up ahead. He was pale and gaunt, his back arched like a cat, observing his wretchedness moved me so deeply. Ah, I thought to myself, I'm not the only one suffering in this hell. But, do you know what? Can you imagine? Just my own reflection in a shop window. A stunning, stinging, stupefying surprise. Don't forget slap in the face. Everyone started laughing at me. Gentlemen thereabouts, ladies passing by. Even the man in the shop window. Ah, yes. A certain great detective would like to be included among the mirthful. Ah! Sholmes is really going for Soseki-san today. Well, I for one think you are a very handsome man, Mr. Natsume. There, did you hear that? This 10-year-old girl thinks you're handsome. Isn't that wonderful? That makes me feel suspiciously warm inside. He looks genuinely delighted. The point is, we Japanese are humble and modest. Studying on foreign soil, surrounded by foreign people, how could anybody possibly enjoy that? No one could. It's impossible if you're genuine Japanese. If you say so. Actually, it would appear that there is someone. Japanese man who studied in a foreign country and seems to have thrived in the experience. There is? Mr. Ogai Mori. I believe he studied in Germany. Ooh, real history? Mr. Mori, please tell us more of the fellow. Well, today he's a very successful author in Japan. Oh, I've heard of him. He's a professor who wrote My Hime, isn't he? My Hime? I suppose in English the title would be Dancing Queen. You are a dancing... Okay, I won't. Oh, I see. A tale of a woman who waltzed her way throughout the world, perhaps. You really need to make up a silly translation, you know. It's already officially called The Dancing Girl in English. Seems Mr. Mori greatly enjoyed his time in Germany. Then he became close with a local lady while he was there. Close, you say? With a local lady? Hatred's criminally contradictory conduct. Well, I suppose your experience of studying abroad depends to a large extent on your character. Oh, as they say. Many minds. Mr. Mori has an open mind. Mr. Natsume, a closed one. Possibly a slightly black and white view, don't you think, Mr. Sholmes? Well, anyway. That's how you feel about being abroad. Why'd you choose to study here? To further our nation's understanding of the English language or something? Yes, that's right. So what were you doing in Japan before you came to Great Britain, then? I was a school teacher. English, of course. A bit cursory, perhaps, but I've managed to discover some information on Mr. Natsume's teaching days. Why do you have that book in here? What is happening in this book? That's just a little outside the field of law, isn't it, Mr. Zato? It is the Book of Plot. Well, let me pose you a question, Mr. Naruhodo. If you had to translate the English phrase, I love you, into Japanese, what would it become? That's easy. Aishiteru or suki desu. Wrong. According to Mr. Natsume's teachings, at least. What? Would you like to explain, Mr. Natsume? Yes, of course. Your research was very thorough. I always used to tell my students that we Japanese don't express ourselves that way. Rather, we might say, Suki ga kire desu ne. My dear Mr. Natsume, I must interject. Suki ga kire desu ne would translate as, moon is beautiful, isn't it? I know that. Point is that we Japanese are reticent when it comes to expressing our emotions. We prefer to show our feelings of adoration, our suki, by appreciating the beauty of the moon, the suki. Using the suki to express suki. It's an amusing play on words, I see. No, in language you might understand better. Bad Sholmes. Not a play on words. It's subtle, it's humble, it's fleeting and beautiful. It's art. Is it just being shy? Tsundere? My dear fellow, the foreign dancing girl will forever be out of your reach with such an attitude. Imagine how the great Mr. Morty would act. He would win the lady's heart in a flash with a well-placed and unrestrained, I love you. Smooth Mr. Morty. I destined to live in his shadow forever. What sort of man is he, that imagination of yours? The fact is, I just can't settle in this foggy London town with all its foreign inhabitants. I must count the number of different lodgings I tried before I found myself here. As it happens, I even lived on Baker Street at one time. No, really? Sow scholar lives near there. A man by the name of William James Craig. His knowledge of Sow is unsurpassed, and a great inspiration to me over the... Forgive the interruption, but... Am I supposed to be familiar with this Sow of which you speak? Someone is going to make the joke that... Someone is going to make the joke that Sholmes has never watched Sword Art Online. It's Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare. But in Japanese we write it as Sa and O. William James Craig. And a real person. Editor of Shakespeare. Editor. Oh. William James Craig was an editor of Shakespeare's plays, in reality. Shit. It's a phonetic representation using kanji characters. England is Igirisu. America is America. Come to think of it, we use the same character as Ri in one word and Risu in another. Talk about confusing. So Shakespeare is Sa, in Japanese. Presumably this Sa is a brutal attempt at the first Sha. In which case, where's the spear? Never thought about that. We only have the O left. Which could, even in the most charitable interpretation, only be... Sphere. It's an O. Is that it? Is it the O's a fucking sphere? That's wild if true. I might be fucking recklessly speculating, but... Which could, even in the most charitable interpretation, only be a brutal attempt at Old Man. It seems to me that whoever had the job of deciding on the characters for his name got bored early on. Complete kanji character catastrophe. You public thrusted me, young. young man. Well then, on to the burning question. What about me? How do you write my name? Sorry? Sherlock Sholmes, my dear fellow. Must be Japanese characters for my name. Oh dear. I am sorry, Mr. Sholmes, but none exist that I'm aware of. What? Am I really nothing to you Japanese? In that case, it is a matter of paramount importance. You must construct my name in kanji at once. Oh, well, we could use a kanji that's pronounced so to start with. Then use one more to give so, perhaps. I think that would be about right, Mr. Sholmes, so. But it's almost the same as Sao, isn't it? Yes, you employ the dreaded O. I want people to confuse you with an old man who died centuries ago. You're the world's greatest literary figure, but rather not be confused with you either. Well, the world's greatest detective is still youthful and full of vigor. It's all about so handsome. Oh yes, that sounds wonderful. I'm sure everyone will be calling you that 100 years from now. Why would you say that with a straight face? Fangirl mode. What about me then, Iris? Perhaps Aihime, since the second character doesn't seem to matter. Aihime? Oh yes, Princess of Love. That's an adorable name for you, Iris. Oh, please. A name like that. Mr. Morty is likely to turn up at any moment and rashly declare, I love you. This Morty-san has become quite a character in Soseki-san's mind. It's the opposite of the I've drawn myself as the Giga Chad and you as the Soy Jack. Except Soseki has drawn himself as the Soy Jack and Morty as the Giga Chad. And you, Mr. Naruhodo, might I venture Kurobosu as a fitting name for you, as in the Dark Monk. Oh, that's very good. Describes you perfectly, Runo. I already have a name. So you think I'll be wearing this black varsity uniform for the rest of my days, do you? No, I'm putting on the green DLC uniform. But Mr. Naruhodo already has a Japanese name. I don't believe he needs another. It's a fun nickname, but... Well, anyways. We were talking about your life here in London, weren't we, Mr. Natsume? You should just get out and have fun. Go clubbing. Go beads. The landlady said as much to me, too. Mrs. Garrideb? It wasn't fun at all. It was frightful. What did you do? Whatever do you mean? A cycle incident. What? An incident on a bicycle? Oh yeah, come to think of it. Oh no. The story behind the bicycle. He's got a bicycle. There's an old bicycle parked just outside, isn't there? A sorry state, though. I tried to say no to her, but she insisted I took it for a ride. Perhaps my pronunciation was wrong. I took my life in my hands and attempted to ride the steel spiderweb stallion to a nearby park. I don't think there's anything wrong with your pronunciation, Mr. Natsume. Known Garrideb just isn't the kind of woman to take no for an answer. If you're going to die, you might as well die in beautiful surroundings. The park was my first thought. After a whole day of dicing with death, I emerged with only relatively minor bruises. So, you got the knack of it. Don't be silly. Dying isn't something you can learn to do. Mr. Natsume, you keep talking about dicing with death and dying and so forth, but what the fuck happened? Riding a bicycle is supposed to be fun. Oh no, that's just what people tell you. It's an old wives' tale. Is it? I mean, just consider the real name of the vehicle. It's not called a dicycle for nothing. How anyone expects to use such an aptly named vehicle to move forwards is beyond me. Heaven power promises pain. I didn't think it was possible to get worse with practice. I'm lucky to be alive. Although, I must say, after looking death in the eye for a whole week, I did at least manage to mount the steed reliably. And notwithstanding a few wobbles, I found I could finally make progress in the forward direction. What a triumph. Deduction is much the same. When first presented with a problem, the mental exertion of trying to solve it leads only to bitter disappointment. After a week of picking one's way carefully along the path of reasoning and thought, one begins to see results. So, is that why all your off-the-cuff deductions always seem half-baked? A wonderful insight into your extraordinary mind, Mr. Sholmes. Unfortunately, after wobbling down the street, I noticed there were little stones everywhere. Death traps. Well, that way I said to myself, while a vehicle wouldn't listen, I'll be on and on down the street. So of course, I hit one of those deadly stones and the crazy cold threw me. And just by luck, bicycles are the epitome of my pitiful life. I wish I could disagree. On the same subject? I'm sure there's a famous American author who's written about having a similar experience. Oh yes, I've read that essay too, Iris. Some of us are better read than others. Yeah, no more dicycles for me. Oh, Mr. Natsume, at least you have an interesting anecdote to take with you back to Japan, if nothing else. You always manage to put a positive spin on things, don't you, Mr. Zato? Personally, I haven't mounted a bicycle for some time. No, me neither. That's good. So how about a jaunt? We shall all ride out together. No? That sounds great. I'll perch behind Mr. Zato. Make her drive? But the sun is going down. It'll be pitch black before long. London street lamps are very bright, you know, and the fog isn't too thick today. My beloved ride is all bent out of shape. My dear fellow, if you are bound atop of the vehicle anyway, it's fitting that it's already bent out of shape. Settle then. Go along, Mr. Natsume. Shall we go? Tsukigakira desu. Tell me that's his translation of no thank you as well. Indeed, Mr. Natsume. The moon is at its most beautiful at precisely this time of the evening. Oh. We're not Japanese. You can't beat around the bush with us. What a weird and wonderful world. We're taking you out of the town, son. Mr. Natsume tripped on a death trap pebble and catapulted straight into a lamppost. Poor lad. Episode 7. A chilling escapade about the shillings escaped from the clutches of Rolly and Pat Bede. But only just found it on the street. Due to the pickpocket is the obvious suspect, but Ryunosuke, Sholmes, and Iris happen to be passing by, and the plot quickly thickens. He's off to be first game. Yeah. Oh, Briar Road. Hey, there they are. I wish we got more for the second. Ah! Constable Roy Rolly Beat reporting for duty. Thanks to the good offices of Lord Van Zeeks. Back on my beat here in the capital, doing my best for the good citizens of London, sir. Ah, my Rolly. Back in his Bobby's uniform. You couldn't look any more handsome if you tried. Ah, my love. You say the sweetest things. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. To us. Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper of the Berry at all. Oh, no. Oh, of course not. He's the patron saint of Bobbies. A patron saint? Oh, yes, Pat. You're so right, my darling. Keep us in pocket he is. My first day back at the job. What did I find in the gutter? A shilling, my love. A whole shilling. Oh, Roy. I always believed in you. I always knew you'd one day find some big, small change. With just that shilling, I could buy you a cheap bunch, containing a single flower, my sugar. Oh my gosh. A single flower? Oh, how romantic. But I'm so sorry, Pat. Moments ago, that shilling disappeared. Disappeared? But how, my love? How? think maybe. No. Sure. It was this girl here, sir. You swiped my precious shilling, didn't you, you jiggy little diver? Oh, hi, Gina. Blimey. You took your time getting round to me, didn't you? I thought that lovey-dovey stuff weren't ever gonna end. So, a shilling, you say? It's from you, was it? Don't know nothing about it. Where's the evidence, eh? Right there. The evidence is dancing around on the back of your hand, young lady. You stole it from me. You lifted it from my pocket just now. You got nerve stealing from a bobby. Copplers, this coin's mine. How could you know anyway? How could you know if it was taken just now or not? Dear me. You don't get it, do ya? We've only got a penny to our name. That coin felt as heavy as to be... That coin felt as heavy to me as a bar of gold. Eh? I'm telling you, but when it left my pocket, I knew. I felt myself getting a good few pounds lighter. Ah! Yep, that coin has got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it. What's the matter with you, eh? Mr. Naruhodo? Huh? Me? Sorry? Well, he's in trouble. A true gent's supposed to be here to help. Straight away, not an hour later. This isn't my fault. I haven't stolen anything. What about you, eh, Sholmes? Thought you were supposed to be a great detective. You mean, Miss Lestrade. You took your time getting around to me, didn't you? I thought that long dispute was never going to end. There! You only said give us a minute when we spotted you over the road and said hello. That was 10 minutes ago, Ginny. We've just been standing here listening to you quarrel with this Bobby. I beg your pardon, madam. We shouldn't be troubling the public with police business. That shilling belongs to us, doesn't it, Broly? Of course it does, my love. It's just for you and me, my darling. Just supposed to be a nice stroll with Iris and Mr. Sholmes before afternoon tea. We'd have to run into another fiasco on Briar Road. I don't really see how we could be of any help, Gina. There's no way of knowing who the coin really belongs to if it was just dropped in the gutter. I wouldn't be so sure of that, Bruno. What? I have a feeling I might know the answer to the question of whose coin that is. Ah, my bright young fellow lodger. Let us hear your deduction. Well, there's actually a reason why I suggested a stroll down Briar Road. Oh, what reason? You see, I was here yesterday and, well, I dropped it. I dropped a little something. I wanted to come and look for it while enjoying an afternoon stroll. Wait, you dropped something? You don't mean... It was the pocket money that Hurley gave me. Uh-oh, she's running a ploy here. What's this, Iris? You dropped that, did you? I'm sorry. Went to the market on Lion Street yesterday to pick up some herbs, you see. Oh, the way I must have dropped it. The 1 shilling coin you gave me. Oh! 1 bob bit? Yes. When I thought back over the route I took, I realized I must have dropped it here. Constable, you haven't seen it, have you? I saw my pocket money, and now it's gone. I don't ever... God, it's been a while since I played the first game. I don't remember ever seeing that expression. Well, I'm afraid I don't know anything about that young lady. What luck talking your money like that? Sorry. I dare say the constable and his companion could give you a run for your money with their wide eyes. It's all the same to you, Mr. Sholmes. I think I'd prefer not to be used as the yardstick for looking guilty. Well, it's tough really, ain't it, Iris? You dropped it, so it ain't yours no more. Anyway, you know what they say. What goes around comes around. I don't feel bad. Bad luck, Iris. It's looks like you're gonna get your coin back. You just wanted to see their reactions. Oh, I can't believe I've lost it. Straight after Hurley gave it to me as well. Yeah, it's regrettable indeed. You'd recall that particular coin as rather significant. What do you mean significant? Be specific. It was especially significant to you, Runo. Significant to me? Ah, you don't mean... It's the coin from last night's wager? Oh, the very same, my dear fellow. The plot begins. What's this then? What wager? It was a game of poker. A duel between Hurley and Runo. Oh, poker? Oh, what, that tricky card game you mean? As a lawyer, I have the perfect poker face. Never be able to tell what I'm thinking, said he. As he just planted his hands on palms of the table and gaped like a fish at Holmes. Depriving Mr. Naruhodo of his entire fortune was even easier than finding that missing thoroughbred. Oh, not Silver Blaze. It was so infuriating, reliving it now still makes me grit my teeth. Sorry, Iris. I had every intention of paying you back the money I owe you, but now you have to wait, I'm afraid. Yes, I know. Don't worry. Next month is fine. Let me guess, Otto. Your old fortune. It's 1 whole shilling. My entire monthly stipend. I'd lost all of it. As I handed it over to Mr. Sholmes, I gritted my teeth so hard my gums started to bleed. Please, Bruno. Don't exaggerate. It's a horrible image. It kinda is. What about a lawyer who borrows money from a 10-year-old girl? That's a horrible image. Why do I feel like my reputation with this couple has just fallen to the floor? Even farther through the floor. There are a few things more degrading than taking a man for all he's worth. I'll be so pleased with yourself, Harry. Not as if Runo ever had a chance of winning. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Well, I think that special ink I developed, anyone could. Thank you, Iris. That will do. I'm sure this conversation is proving very dull for everyone. What's done is done. Our game is over now. There's no point crying about spilled milk. Special ink, you say? Well, sir, that sounds like the sort of risky business that's right up my alley. Oh, Rolly, I love your dauntless spirit. You laugh in the face of danger. Come on then, Iris, spill it. What's this special ink about, eh? Ah, well, it's what's sometimes called invisible ink. Oh. All you have to do is write the suited number on the reverse side of every card. With the aid of some special glasses, the whole game is laid bare to you. Wait, you were wearing glasses last night, weren't you, Mr. Sholmes? Of course you had your goggles on. Just something about along the lines of my eyesight appears to have suddenly... And you believed him! My eyesight appears to have suddenly worsened, my learned friend. What you failed to question that as odd is the moment I knew I had won the game. Mind games, was it? Trying to throw me off with your eccentric ways. So, you're telling me Sholmes could see every card what Otto had? What? That's not mind games, that's blatant cheating! My dear fellow, what an accusation. Would you honestly consider me a cheat? Please. Prefer a trickster. What have you called that game doesn't count now? Understand, Mr. Sholmes? Dear me. Well, out of respect for the bad grace with... out of respect for the bad grace with which you would take defeat, allow me to return your shilling. Did you hear that, Gene? Give it here. Yeah? Leave me out of this. This here 1 bob bit was mine from the start. No question. No, sir, that there 1 bob bit was lifted from this there Bobby's pocket only a few minutes ago. So you keep saying. Come on then, where's the evidence? Eh? The law, right? It's all about evidence. I know my stuff. You see, Mr. Naruhodo, there's a trite excuse in court, and others will parrot it. Only whenever I do say that in court, it isn't as trite as it isn't a trite excuse, you know. As I said, sir, the coin has got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it. That's right, it has. Rolly's blood, sweat, and tears are the evidence. Blood, you say? In that case, it's time. Well, yes. Do you think? Well, if there's any trace of blood on that coin, we'll soon know about it. Uh-oh. Alright, Ginny. Hold very still. Eh? What? What? Ah! Ah! Journey has been deleted. Look at that. See there on the coin? It's clearly changed color. In other words, there is blood on this coin. Again, as I said, sir, that'll be my blood, sweat, and tears. Ooh, wait, I've seen blood turn that color before. Yes, I know whose it is. I know whose coin it is. What? Rightful owner of this bloodstained shilling is... Take that. Bruno. Huh? Me? And from the appearance of the blood, I would say it is quite fresh. Not within the last 24 hours. Within the last... Ah! Then, in that case, I was literally... Dude, my... Ah! This is the coin what Sholmes had off ordered last night in the poker game. Oh, Bruno, does that mean you really did make your gums bleed? I told you I was so infuriated to lose, I had to grit my teeth to hand over the money. And I leaked blood out of my mouth, all over it. Blimey, you're as hard up as me by the sound of it. I thought you had a proper job. Oh, Gina, just hand it over, would you? A shilling. That's rightfully mine. Oh, fine. All right, then. Stop your bleeding staring. I got my money back. Ah, I finally have it back. Like a dream come true. I nearly had that one in the bag after all. That's wonderful news, Bruno. I'm so happy for you. Now then, as you promised, pay me back. I'd like my money back, please. The shilling I lent you before. Ah. You did say that you'd pay it back out of this month's pocket money, didn't you? Oh, yeah. Well then, I suppose. My dear fellow, do be kind to your gums. Looks like that shilling was always destined to be taken from you, sir. For some reason, the phrase serves you right is floating around in my head. So, Iris, as promised, here is the shilling I owe you. Oh? You're repaying me already? Well, thank you. Next month would have been fine, though. What's it all about, anyway? What are you lending all the money for? Yes. Well, actually, it's because I went to the Lime Street market yesterday to buy herbs. For Bruno. Herbs? For Otto? Yeah, the tea Mr. Zeta left behind is top-quality Gyokuro tea, but it's just so bitter. So when Iris suggested mixing it with some herbs to make it more palatable, I asked her to buy me some. That's right. We made a special Japanese herbal tea with the leftover Gyokuro. I'm going to call it Susie's Special Blend. I do hope you all try it. The excruciating bitterness clings to the throat if you can persuade the bright green gloop to leave the cup. Well, it sounds quite delicious. Yeah, right. Well, it would appear this shilling's brief adventures are now at an end. Adventures? You must agree, my dear fellow, that the coin has made a considerable journey since last night. Let's see, originally it was the coin I was supposed to give Iris to pay for the herbs. Then in our poker duel last night, it passed to you, Mr. Sholmes. I gave it to Iris as spending money. I dropped it here sometime yesterday, and my beloved Rolly found it a little while ago and picked it up. What was lifted from my pocket by this here diver? I then used my favorite gun to show up the blood that was on it. It's about Sholmes' little scam in his card game last night. The annulment of which resulted in the coin returning to the ownership of Mr. Naruhodo, allowing me to pay Iris the money I owed her after all. Or the herbs she'd bought in order to make Susie's Special Blend tea. Yep, that is in fact a summary of everything that just happened here in the last 20 minutes. After all that, the coin is resting safely in my pocket. Yeah, you're right, that was an adventure. What are we supposed to take away from it, eh? This 1 shilling coin belongs to Iris and Iris alone, I think. I cannot fault your observation, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, you know what they say. Goes around, comes around. Ah! I get the feeling that Iris knew what was coming around to her from the very beginning. Right, as they say. Well then, my dear fellow, how about this evening we indulge in some bitter tea and a bitter rematch? Even allow you to stake the coming month's spending money in advance. I fold. That one was honestly fun. I think they did kind of randomly summarize it at the end. Alright, final episode. In the Bail-In. At least we know that this one takes place after Case 5 of the first game. In the time skip between Case 5 of the first game and Case 3 of the second game. This escapade takes place at the Old Bailey courtroom where the defendant is none other than Sholmes himself at the charge as a most mysterious murder. Ryunosuke naturally advocates the defense against the unstoppable Reaper, Lord Van Zeeks. Sholmes' testimony calls the true culprit of the crime into question. Oh, great. What did you do, Sholmes? Oh, this is just a straight up silly. This court is now in session. The trial of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It's the most extraordinary case of murder. Counsels, I assume I may proceed. Yes, my lord. Defense is ready. At your discretion, my lord. Very well. I hereby call upon the prosecution to introduce this case. The incident in question took place 2 days ago, late at night, when the ground was blanketed with snow. The location of the incident was the residence of the accused, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Indeed, the now famous address of number 221 P. Baker Street, was it? The address may have enjoyed fame once, my lord, but will henceforth endure infamy of this grim crime. Yes, sir. Well put. Victim, a certain Madame Rosie, is found asphyxiated on the accused's sofa. My word.
Objection!
It's unclear as to whether the victim was actually killed in the defendant's suite or not. After all, Mr. Sholmes left the room for only a brief moment. Madame Rosie somehow vanished herself out of his room completely. Vanished herself, counsel? The victim? Quite true, my lord. There's but one adjoining door between my drawing room and the kitchen. Huh. Yet having brewed some tea in the kitchen, I returned to find the room completely empty. There's nobody else present. Ordinarily, my fellow lodger, Iris, would have been at the home. However, on the day in question, she had been invited to a meeting of a scientific society in the city. Rage of propensity for exaggeration, sure. Sir, you claim the victim vanished herself, but really, it seems to be entirely plausible that she chose to leave by the main entrance to your suite. As it happens, my lord, the door to the accused's room was locked at the time, from the inside. Very true, Inspector. As such, I can say with considerable surety that the victim did not leave via my front door. But what about, yes! She could have stuck out through a window.
Objection!
Windows to the room were not locked. It's true. The victim had the opportunity. However, whether there was snow all around the blind and outside, or a badger had been disturbed. My learned friend cared to explain how the victim could have left without leaving a trail. Victim Madame Rosie somehow vanished from the scene before she was killed. Naturally, I was alarmed by the sudden disappearance of my guest. I summoned this gentleman, who resided in the attic room above my own, and we took a cab to Scotland Yard. He confirmed that the defendant called for me, and I saw his suite on my way downstairs. And yes, I'm quite sure it was empty, just as Mr. Sholmes had said. When he reached the yard, this very detective happened to be there. Ah, well, yes, you see, I was just in my office for a while. I haven't gotten back for some important business. Right, very important. And then, having explained the situation to the inspector, we had traveled back to Baker Street together. At that time, there were no footprints in the snow around the building other than the ones we'd made. I take it then, Counsel, that you personally witnessed the scene where the incident took place. No, my lord. I went straight up to bed in my own room in the attic. Dr. Gregson, however, was met with a most blood-curdling sight. Mr. Sholmes' sofa at the vanished Madame Rosie, motionless. She was already dead when you discovered her, Inspector. No, my lord. Not dead. Not far off it. Must all remain in strength to say these dying words. Water. Sholmes. Be. Dead of me. Concerning confession. Oh, yes, I've heard that remark at the time, too. But in a rasping voice, full of malice. No. His words indeed proved to be her last. The victim expired moments later, there on the sofa. Cause of death was identified as damage to the respiratory tract as a result of strangulation. Right, does the accused dare to contest the inspector's account? Certainly not. In fact, the inspector has done an unusually fine job of summarizing the salient points. Sholmes be the death of me. Think the parting words, indeed. In her final moments, the victim named her killer. You, Mr. Erlock Sholmes.
Objection!
The defendant had no reason to take the victim's life. Perhaps you could tell the court, Mr. Sholmes, who exactly this Madame Rosie was. Oh, yes, of course. I never mentioned her to you. I extended an invitation to her that evening, though she is loquacious in the extreme. Most trivial of matters quickly became a quarrel. I was only too pleased to leave her presence to make tea. Great. It appeared then that the accused did in fact have a motive for silencing his erst guest.
Objection!
Putting that tenuous motive aside, what about the other mysteries surrounding the case? I'm inclined to agree with the defense, who adds a number of inscrutable details. The victim's alleged disappearance and subsequent reappearance, leaving no trail of footprints, for example. That's right. The crime described by the prosecution could never have happened. The victim named the accused in her dying breath. It seems to me that my learned friend has overlooked a significant detail here. Nonsense. What have I overlooked? Man in the dark. The so-called great detective all too frequently makes the following bold claim. There's no crime beyond the realms of possibility. Mystery beyond my powers of reasoning. Yeah. So, Mr. Sholmes, you'll have no difficulty in explaining how the crime thus described could have taken place. Therefore, I propose a toast to the great detective upholding his name. But of course, if I had put my mind to the matter, the crime would immediately appear to all present to be entirely feasible. Please, Mr. Sholmes, whose side are you on? All you need to say is, no, even I can't think of a way that a crime like that could have been committed. Let the accused's admission be noted by the court. While the crime may appear impossible to us mortals of inferior mental capacity, this man alone. Rush. Claims to know exactly how it was done.
Hold it!
Now, hold on. That's a very fragile argument. Thank you, counsels. I believe I've heard more than enough to proceed with my adjudication. The accused great detective did, in some inscrutable manner, willfully murder the victim, Rosie. I hereby find the defendant. Okay then, let this man be taken for the courtroom and, in some equally inscrutable manner, be sanctioned for his crimes. Or is adjourned. What?
Hold it!
My lord, please. The truth about the mysteries surrounding this case. And no one to another besides the great detective. What's this? On my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you are coming along wonderfully. Just a fundamental truth about this case, I believe. Which would be, Detective? The truth of this case is known. And only to the true culprit, obviously. Is that not so, Gregson? Eh? What? Well, suppose, yes. I don't mean. Suggesting, Mr. Sholmes. Do you have an idea as to what actually happened that night? Idea? My dear fellow. I could explain the entire incident from start to finish with not a single detail omitted.
Objection!
It seems the detective has failed to grasp the situation. Right, Mr. Reaper. Which of us has truly failed to grasp the situation, I wonder? Answer me this. Claim that prior to the incident, the victim suddenly vanished without a trace from your room. So, how exactly did Madame Rosie disappear? Why, naturally by the window. It was ajar, after all. It can't be. The room is a whole story above the street level, and anyway, no prints were found in the snow. There are any number of ways one could avoid leaving tracks in the snow, surely. Such as? Such as flying, for instance. Oh. A fatuous notion. And where do you propose the victim flew, Mr. Scholes? It's not entirely plain. The culprit's abode, of course. Or having left my suite, that is clearly where Madame Rosie was murdered. Take a moment to consider the cruel irony, if you so will. By her own volition, she flew directly to her death.
Objection!
She a fucking pigeon. Did you forget, Detective? The victim's corpse was discovered on your own sofa. No doubt because her killer carried her back there. But what about the lack of footprints in the snow again, then? There just weren't any. Other than our own from when we returned home ourselves. If by our footprints you refer to your own and mine, you are quite right. They were those of another. The night in question, there was one other person who could have conveyed the victim to my sofa. What? Good gracious! To whom do you refer, sir? A man whose somewhat unveiling presence in the scene of the crime would be questioned by no one. Gregson. Unveiling? Ah, you don't mean... Indeed I do. A man who has hastened to the scene directly upon learning of the incident at Scotland Yard. Namely... you, Inspector Gregson. Busted. Ah! When you arrived at my address at Baker Street, you were carrying the half-dead Madame Rosie with you. Waited for a suitable opportunity and then laid the victim on my sofa. He did what?
Objection!
Madame Rosie's gonna be a fucking pigeon or something. But we were with the inspector when we arrived. How could he possibly have been carrying the victim? You would have noticed. My dear fellow, a most obvious answer presents itself, does it not? The victor is rarely, if ever, without his overcoat. The victim was simply conveyed in one of its many pockets. No one stopped to ask who the fuck Madame Rosie is. I fail to see what makes this detective great. I can say one thing with great certainty. Human body cannot fit into the pockets of an overcoat. I believe you may all have fallen foul of rather significant misapprehension. What? Madame Rosie was not a human. Yep, there it is. I beg your pardon? Mr. Sholmes. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo? Nothing troubles you, perhaps. Whatever gives you that idea? What sort of creature was Madame Rosie? Is it not a parrot already? A parakeet, of course. Ah! Oh. A most self-conceited specimen, in fact. A parakeet? That's even better than a pigeon. She was an incessant talker, I must say. Her manner was quite intolerable at times. One stirred every conversation into a quarrel. thought to strangle the creature on more than one occasion. You had a quarrel. Parakeet. Of course. Why else would she have chosen to fly from my window so uncordially that evening? Did he bow to the inspector here, no, beside me, no less? To Inspector Gregson's abode? But why? Guess that was the parakeet's home, naturally. What? What are you? In fact, I was called away from town for some days. It was arranged that I would look after the bird. It would appear that she was overcome with a sudden yearning for a keeper. This prompting her in flight away from my comfortable suite to the inspector's office at Scotland Yard. Well, Gregson, I believe it's high time you explain. Give us your account on what happened that night. Saying no details, of course. Dr. Gregson? Yeah, almost an accident. I felt bad for being away that evening, you see. Just walked through the door of my office. I imagined Madame Rosie would be on her way back to the yard as well. Slammed the door shut behind me, just as she was trying to fly through it. So Madame Rosie... She got sandwiched between the door and the frame and felt oh, never to move again. Because of me. But I never. I had to do something, just when I was trying to think of a plan. And you fellas arrived talking about some incident at Baker Street. Oh. I had to hide Madame Rosie in a hurry. I stuffed her in my coat pocket and got in the cab with the barrier. What could possibly have motivated you to behave in such a manner, Inspector? Lord Strongheart, sir. What? Lord Strongheart? Please tell me I didn't hear that right. It's the Lord Chief Justice who asked you to look after the bird in the first place. Oh my god. You lived with the pigeons at the Supreme Court until then. Apparently the other birds had started to pick on her. For the past 6 months or so, I've been caring for her in my office at the yard. I see. Anything after that bird, just imagine. No pay and no time off for the rest of my career. Mark my words, that's what's gonna happen. What, that? That's why well... Pin the murder of the bird on you, Holmes. Dying words, Inspector. Court heard earlier that Madame Rosie spoke the name of her assailant on her deathbed. The parakeet is just mimicking Gregson, throwing a fit about Holmes. That rotter. Sholmes will be the death of me. Indeed she did. Quite uncalled for, wouldn't you agree? Those words are your true feelings, are they not, Inspector? Really speaking me off at your office at the yard, in this disparaging manner. A manner that the Murray parakeet took much delight in mimicking. Oh, come on, I mean, have you read this month's edition of Ransom magazine, eh? I'm... sorry. This is all absolutely true? Unfathomably silly. Oh? Oh, wrong, Lord Van Zeeks? Oh my god, is he daydreaming? Ah, no. Drift off road. Starting to drift off. Kept waiting 3 hours already. Managed to meet with Lord Strongheart at all today. We have to deliver the report on the Winterbank case. He asked for one on another day. Tell me, Inspector, what became of that bird? Ah, Madame Rosie and me. Could never escape, but she's still alive. Left her back here not long ago, actually. On Lord Strongheart's orders. So the pigeons will accept her now. It was something of a shock to hear that she'd been crushed in the doorway of your office. Especially as we were all under the misapprehension that Madame Rosie was a person. Sorry about that. It's Lord Strongheart's demand, but... Ah, good. You're here. I apologize for my tardiness. Exactly 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 57 seconds late. No, my lord. No. Please don't trouble yourself. I'll give us great pleasure this den here doing nothing for hours on end. Heartening. So, let's hear it then. Your report. Right, Madam Rosie. I think the bank trial is concluded. It's just far from over. That dark Far Eastern lawyer and I have some shared destiny. We will meet again, that I have no doubt. See that, Lord Van Zeeks? Did you? Oh, would Madame Rosie fly? Yeah, this was case 5. Madame Rosie went flying off on the pigeons there. Happy as Larry she was. Really, Inspector? Must be relieved. Yay, happy for Madame Rosie. She did not, in fact, die. Something remarkably silly about someone as serious as Van Zeeks. Like having wild daydreams about work. Something remarkably fun about it, too. Let's be real. God, it's gone about 2 hours, so we're not going to do any more, but... Maybe. If there's a day to kill, you can go through, like, on stream and watch all of these. Like, read through all of these. These two are voiced. I don't think this series is voiced. That'd be a fun thing to do. Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you'd watch a stream VOD of some of us just reading these off. See you next time. That'll not be in sequence of normal upload schedule, but we will figure out where we go next. Until next time. Until then.